All right, so we'll get to the first night of WrestleMania 2020, the only WrestleMania too big for one night, which actually worked out well because we got through 9 matches. And if that was a half of the WrestleMania card, crowd would have been just absolutely dead tired by the end of it. So we'll get through this pre-show. Gulag Cesaro, very, very well done match. I will say Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, as well as Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins have really done a fantastic job using this empty arena concept. I think it's because since they're used to working in smaller venues every now and then, you really get to understand how to work when no one's watching, but still put on a fantastic match. Cesaro got the victory in that. Easily one of the best pre-show matches I think they've probably ever done, not including ones with the Usos. Bliss and Cross versus Kabuki Warriors. Match was okay. This is when you can tell they had time to do some tape editing, because certain spots felt just slightly off. And it was like, and here's a move. Really bizarre camera angle, and break at the pinfall. Overall, it was a decent match. I still kind of have an issue with Alexa Bliss being on a similar level to Asuka. But I mean, it made really good sense to have, Kairi take the pin on this. And now Bliss and Cross are your tag champs again if they do anything with the belts. I mean, why not? Elias versus Corbin. I've got a book next to me, so I'm looking down. Because there was a lot of stuff trading. Elias versus Corbin. SmackDown match. But if Elias was thrown off the scaffolding into a whoosh because of all the ambient air inside the performance center, I don't think he should have been able to win a match like this. But he won with a roll-up, so whatever. And then we go into Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler. This match was a lot shorter than I thought that it would be, which is good because these two don't work a style that makes for very entertaining longer matches. So just great, solid just fighting. I liked how they began with just a brawl. It felt like a very two people who wanted to tear each other apart. Finish was kind of hollow, where it's like carry foot in a clutch, and I kick through and pin you. It's not a finish that I like. You can tell it's one of those like, aha, we can now keep going forward sort of matches. I'm like, I didn't like it that much when that's how Bret Hart beat Roddy Piper, and that's multiple ways how. And there's also one of the ways that when Stone Steve Austin used to use the $1 Million Dream, I think he was beaten a couple times by Bret Hart that way. It's always one of those weird sort of pinfall victories because you'd almost think that the person who's doing the move would realize they're being pinned and could just let go. So decent enough for one of those like, hey, we got through the match, now we can continue on if we're allowed to do a live show again. Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. Loved the psychology in this. Zayn was like, no, I'm not being touched. I'm not being touched. I'm not being touched. Not being touched. Just played a fantastic. This is one of those things where I think for a live crowd, they would have ate this up. Drew Gulak taking on the rest of the artists, and then the artists come back into play. Zayn trying to make the run. Daniel Bryan go, no, just let him go, let him go. Smart move, Daniel. Smart move. Walking away. Chase him down, throw him back in the ring. Just really good stuff. It's good wrestling. Good psychology. Love where they went with it. Having Daniel Bryan kind of get momentarily distracted to take out the artist as they beat up Gulak and then eating a haluva kick. Again, well done. That was a very good way of doing it. Morrison versus Kofi versus Jay. This was supposed to be Miz Morrison versus the Usos versus the New Day, but Miz was sick, which is why Roman didn't show up. Or Morrison's he's like, I can't. It was like, someone's sick. It's like, I'm immune. I can't come to this event. but we'll deal with that later. So this then became a singles triple threat ladder match for the tag belts. But you had 3 incredibly athletic guys. This is a match that is probably about as athletic as you will see, because there's so many flips, so many dives, so many counters, so many uses of ladders. This is another match I definitely would watch. You know, the Gulag match, the Bryan match. This match is good just because of how just crazy inventive it is to watch 3 guys put on effectively a really solid ladder match. With Morrison getting the belts in a bizarre, convoluted way, but it's the way they've ended these matches before, so not bad. KO Seth Rollins. I loved the false finish with the DQ from taking the ring bell to the head. And then Kevin Owens yelling at Rollins, "No, this isn't done yet. Making a no DQ match, we keep on going." I thought that was great. Because here's 2 guys who are like, you know what? We can talk throughout this match. And they built up a really fantastic, high psychology-driven match. And seeing Kevin Owens make that dive, and then getting the victory with probably one of the most devastating looking stunners, because there wasn't the big flop. It was like kick, stunner, crumple. Not spring up flat back, just crumple. Very, very well done. Like, man, this match was laid out well. You get 2 guys who can do this sort of match, and they're like, we're going to do this in our sleep. Solid match. Goldberg Strowman. This match got thrown together because Roman was like, no, I'm not going to get really sick and die from COVID-19 because The Miz showed up and Miz was sick. So then they went, okay, Strowman, you're in the match. Why? Maybe no one will ask. It was always Roman. It was always Strowman. No, it was Roman. No, it was a video glitch. It was always Strowman. You just heard Roman because the ST is silent. And the names are spelled differently. And they look different. So, spear. Power slam. 2-step twisting power slam. And Strowman's new champ. Okay. I guess. Boneyard match. Yes. Seeing Taker drive up in pseudo American Badass style on a motorcycle was just done very, very well. And the TV behind me just, there we go, was done very well. This was like a final deletion WWE action / horror film. Combine it with the buried alive aspect, worked well. Seeing Taker like bust his arm open from smashing the part of the hearse. I was like, nice. It's like a Goldberg callback. Having AJ getting beaten down, which then the OC coming down, but then the OC had a section that collapsed where other people came out, so it was just Taker beating down a bunch of random people. Taker mildly teleported. I really did hope that they would have done a different shot towards the end where they'd have shown, you know, like, oh, the Taker that you beat down was American Badass Taker, but who you lost to was either Big Evil or, you know, Classic Taker. Of course, they did use fire. You know, they did explode one of the places they were working with. They used the Undertaker symbol. It's worth watching just because this is a WWE Films production added to a WrestleMania. And I was like, man, I cannot wait to see what the Firefly Funhouse is like. And you can really tell the evolution of them doing these sort of things, from like the Wyatt Compound match to the House of Horrors match to where they're doing this sort of stuff now. And, you know, for first night of WrestleMania, for what it was. Not saying that they should have done it or not, because, you know, it's up to Vince. It's his money. It's his people. If someone from his company gets sick, it's on him. But this was a a very well done night overall, and they've got some absolute bangers set up for tomorrow night.